Hello, everybody. Okay, now we're back together. I'm just opened up TikTok and I'm taking a video. We're gonna send this video in WhatsApp. Hi, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well. Hope that we're gonna do better. It's always good to do better. Like the song is in Israel, always do better and better. Always get more high. What's mean better and better? Well, reach higher levels of godliness. And we shall always get better and better from one level to the next. 1 second, guys. I want to turn off this one light right behind us. Ah, much better. Much better. Okay. So, let's start off with a niggin. Ya ya ma. The niggin, a chazisha niggin is like the soul reaching out, singing to God, and giving himself. It's like the movement of the soul, singing, running to Hashem. Ya ma. Diddy ya ma yo ya ba. Ya. Diddy ya. 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 Yeah. Everybody should invite people if you have on TikTok. Invite your friends. Mitzvah Hashem, like all the classes will be a little bit shorter because it's not as long, but it's all talking about how we can do it better and get close to Hashem. And it's talking about by the biggest genius, the Mashiach of generation, the Rabbi Shlita, and he tells us about how things work, and he explains the most amazing things of the beautiness of everything. So that's what we're going to do. We'll invite all your friends. Hopefully, you guys will get something that you can take away, and you can elevate yourself and become more holy. It's like, okay, so let's say, ya mama, diddy ya, 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 da da ya. Diddy da da. Diddy da da. Diddy Okay. So the secret this is it's a portion that talks at Shabbos Parshas Behaaloscha on the 19th of Sivan 5751 regarding Kolel Chabad. So we're going to explain what this is. Now, Kolel Chabad is an institution was set several hundred years ago by the first Lubavitcher Rebbe. That when the Jews, they were the first colony of Jews, he sent a colony of Jews to live in the Holy Land. And he gave money, and everybody would donate money for it. If you read in Tanya, which is one of the major books, Chassidus talks a lot about the importance of supporting the Jews and learning Torah, learning God's special Torah in the Holy Land, and how everybody in Russia, even though they had very little money, would all give something. But it's very, so we're going to talk about this and what it means and how it is. This is in connection with the Malva Malka. Now, Malva Malka is a meal we have after the Holy Shabbos. It's called we're escorting the king, the queen, to benefit the organization of Kolel Chabad that will take place on Motzi Shabbos Parshas Behaaloscha. It is appropriate to mention and to arouse regarding the great virtue and importance of Kolel Chabad. So we have to understand why it's so special. It is known that to the wide masses regarding the great cherishing and efforts of our Rebbes, our leaders, to benefit Kolel Chabad began with the Alter Rebbe. He was the first Lubavitcher Rebbe, the founder of Kolel Chabad and his president, who, in many of his holy letters, writes about the great virtue of tzedakah of Kolel Chabad, that the tzedakah, them when you give charity for the Holy Land. And some of them were printed in the book of Tanya by his children, the illustrious authors, as the fourth part of the book of Tanya. And in connection to all of this, the Rebbe's of our leaders, his successors, also in being the president of the Kollel, including my revered father-in-law, the Rebbe leader of our generation, put efforts to benefit the Kolel Chabad. So it was a very special or a wholly special organization. and it was led personally by the leaders, by the Mashiach of the generation, the highest people, the leader, the one that and it's led by Melch Mashiach also now. So he said, so the Rebbe's, let's see where this note is. So it says over there, a very interesting footnote. Now we're in footnote number 2. It says, Siya Gersa Kodesh, the tzedakah of Eretz Yisrael, which is the tzedakah of Hashem. So the charity for the land of Israel, which is charity for God, it says, is the charity for God, literally. So when you give charity, you're giving God charity. What's it mean? As the verse says, that the eyes of Hashem are always upon him, and my eyes and my heart will always be there. So he brings a few verses in Hebrew. It says that my eyes and my heart will be there all the time, and it is what has stood for us to redeem our lives. But then over there it says again, Zriya Tzedakah, Zazorim Eretz Kodesh Tachtona. It says when a tzaddik passes away, I don't know if it's from that, but he says that he plants tzedakah. What's tzedakah? That which is stood for us, they redeemed our souls. That says the planting of tzedakah, that they plant in Eretz Yisrael down here. And when we do tzedakah, we're planting, what's we planting? We're planting godliness. We're planting the sprout, the seeds of redemption down here, that the planting immediately germinates in the land above. So as soon as we do something here, which is tzedakah in the land of Israel, it automatically germinates above with no delay, being that there's nothing that interferes at all between the lands of the life, for this is the gate of heaven, whereas outside of the Holy Land. So the Rebbe explaining here, this footnote, that they're talking about this organization was set up for tzedakah for people living in the land of Israel. You know, they do a great job now. They have a big Kolel Chabad here. They help support thousands of families. And so it was set up. And the Rebbe's talking about that in the land of Israel, when you give tzedakah, that it says that tzedakah causes redemption to sprout forth. That the tzedakah here right away as soon as you give it, because generally you put it in the land, it's got to take a while for it to come out, sprout, this and that. But as soon as you put in the land of Israel, then it sprouts right away, and you see the fruit from above. You see the holiness from a God coming down and being revealed. Because the land of Israel is the gate to heaven. So now we're in number 2. Okay. And we're in number 1. Being that the divine providence, Shkacha Pratis, that the dinner to Venevet Kolel is taking place on Motzi Shabbos, we may conduct the Parshah of the week, Parshas BAHAOLESCHA, as we will explain. Again, I'll tell the story. I didn't tell you this year that it was this week's Parshah about, 30 years ago, 40 years ago, a long time ago. I forget how long. In the late, it would be 90, maybe 96, 95, something like that. Anyways, so I was living in LA. I had a house at the time. And there's a law that you're not supposed to prepare from one holiday to another. Now there are 2 days, and outside Israel we keep 2 days, like for many of the holidays in the Torah. So it was the second day of Shavuos actually, and no, not that one. Doesn't this? I'm sorry. It was Parshas BAHAOLESCHA. I've mixed up 2 stories. I'm sorry. So the Parshas BAHAOLESCHA. So it was like about 5 minutes after candle lighting, 5 minutes before sunset, and I'm in my children's bedroom. My children's bedroom had like a wall, a closet that went all the way across. On the side there were some hooks that had some shorts on it. Besides that was a closet. So I put my books up there. It was late, and at that time I was smoking. My wife didn't know I was smoking, so I decided to put my books in the shirt pocket that was hanging on the closet inside, but on the side. And as I did it, I touched the wall. The wall was burning hot. You couldn't touch it. It was burning hot. So right away I called 911. Just like 5 minutes before sunset, and 5 minutes later, the ambulance, the fire just come rum, and they checked out. And this was a 5-unit apartment building. Next door was the laundry room, and in the laundry room there was a large hot water heater for the whole building. And they said what happened was that the vent that let the hot air somehow got clogged, and it was building up heat, and in an hour or two, the whole place would have burnt. There would have been an explosion, spraying it with like a firebomb. People living down, we were upstairs. The people living downstairs for sure would have. No, we were downstairs. People living upstairs, they said for sure would have died. Maybe we would have also. So here I was. I was simply doing what God wanted me to do. There were two mitzvahs I was taking care of. One is Shabbos. I was putting away my muktzah. Two was Shalom Bayis. So you see that it was supposed to, that was supposed to happen. That there was already, and that actually the guy, the fireman looked at me. They said, "How'd you know this is it?" I said, "I was just putting away I was just putting something away. I felt the wall. It was so strange. It was a big miracle." So, we never know what we do. Sometimes we do stuff and we can see directly the miracle. So this was the miracle. There was another one, which I'll tell you, which happened since we're coming out. This is also very, very close to Shavuos. And this was like the second day of Shavuos. And where I used to live in LA, I had a house. And in the house, the house was like, I don't know, there was a way, when you go from the backyard, from outside to the house, there was a gate, because you walk straight up into the back door. But I didn't carry from one Yom to another. You can't like prepare from the first day Yom to the first holiday, the second day. So I didn't carry. So I used to put my keys for the house, because they come back later with a few kids with me. I would put them in the backyard. So I'm coming home, and all of a sudden, me and my son, who at that time was about 12 or 11, we come in, and we're going back to get the keys, not into the house. A friend who was with us jumps in, and we hear these guys yelling, "Throw us your wallets! Throw us your wallets!" And, we just were quiet. I mean, they were afraid to come in because it's dark. Maybe we could hit them with the brick. They thought they were going to come straight in with us. So we stayed there for about 45 minutes, and we went in. The next day, we were eating a holiday meal. Our neighbor came by, and he's not Jewish, he's not religious. Nice, wonderful guy. Anyways, he had a dog, one of these giant dogs. And he says, "Are you guys okay?" He said, "Yeah, why?" He says, "There were two Mexicans with guns outside your back door last night." So here it was. I was keeping Hashem's will, and we saw open miracles that saved us. Now, we've been keeping Hashem's will for a long time, so we should have all the open miracles. Right now, we have a lot of open miracles, Baruch Hashem, that the enemies are trying to get to us, and they're not being successful, and we're getting rid of them. We should have more until we have the final redemption. Okay, so now we're talking. So this is just something I want to talk about because it just happened. And it's also talking about the effect of what you do, how it changes, and it can bring salvation. So being that by divine providence the dinner to the benefit of the Kolel is taking place on Moshe Shabbos, we may connect to the Parsha of the week, the Parshas Behaaloscha, as we will explain. 2. When it says, when you light the lamps, that when you light up the lamps towards the middle branch, shall the 7 lamps shine. There were like 6 lamps, I guess 6, and there was a 7th one in the middle, and they all shine towards the middle one. The 7 lamps, what's that denote? That denotes the souls of the Jews that were divided into 7 groups. For each soul, every soul is called a lamp. As the verse says, the lamp of Hashem, what's it in Hebrew? It says that the lamp of Hashem is the soul of man, so which burns and shines in a matter of Behaaloscha. So how's this lamp burn? How does this menorah burn? It shines in the way of Behaaloscha. What's it mean? That until the flame burns on its own, as explained at length, through that the lamp is. In other words, that the light, what's it mean? You light it up, and then you give it the power to light it up, but after that, it just continues lighting by itself. It says, so remember, we're learning a lesson from all of this. Remember, so it burns the way that it lights up, it stays lit by itself, like we explained earlier. It says near mitzvah Torah. He says that the mitzvah is the lamp and the light is Torah. Since we see that there are 7 different levels in service of Hashem. Yesh, there's somebody who serves Hashem from love. These are all then. Somebody serves Hashem from more strict. These represent the 7 attributes, the 7 mitos, and the Jews are set up. The Jews are soul. We have 7 different types of soul, like the 7 candles of the Menorah. One so that you have everything included, but one soul is like we see that Avram was the light of Chesed, Yitzchak the light of Gavor. They had everything, but they're special in one area. So we have the 7 there. So, but Menorah that says now the Menorah was made miksha zahav adirecha aparcha mikshahi, that was made from one piece of gold. This goes on the general soul. What's it mean? That the general soul is called Menorah Kula. Like it says that the general soul of the Jews that refers to the Jews shows as a whole a completely gold menorah, as it says in the Haftorah, Behaaloscha. And the content of the commandment says, the Elmu Panei Menorah Ya'ira Shavas Yamim. It says, we emphasize this, that towards the middle branch, the middle branch of the menorah shall the lamp shine, that all the details and aspects of the shall call Patim Yonim, that all the details of the 7 Shiva narrows of the 7 lamps, the Zayin Suk and the Shamash, we have these different types of Jews. They brought up in different types of service of Hashem. One serves more from one level, one serves more from another. These are the Menorah, that all of them are included in the menorah. That that includes everything, because it's all made, remember, from one piece of gold. Menorah, until they reach what's Panei Menorah, until they all face towards the inner part, the inner meaning of the menorah. Panemius, what's the inner meaning? Panemius Ratzon Elyon Shenimshak Meimul Panei Menorah. So it says, let's go over to English. It says that the menorah, which is all encompassing into of the 7 lights, including uniting and serving Hashem from the depths of the soul, that the middle branch, the innermost of the menorah, Hashem's deep desire, which is drawn and shines onto the middle branch of the menorah, causing us to serve Him from depths of our will. This is the common point of all the different ways of serving Hashem, doing the will of Hashem. So let's go with this again in Hebrew. It says the token at Sivay. And what's the main thing of the Sivay? Everything faces towards the menorah, the middle. Chakala pratim yonim, all the different details of the 7 candles. What's that? These are the 7 different types of souls. That how the Jews are broken up to different types of service of Hashem, that they all become included in the menorah. Shia Kolel, it's what is there, includes everything. It's the center, pulls everything until what level is it? It includes everything until a level that it shines. Hold on, see how he says this. That the middle branch, the innermost branch, Hashem's deep desire is drawn and shines onto the middle branch of menorah. That he reaches a level that it's included in the middle branch. It says over here that, okay, let's go to this again. That they're all the 7 groups, the 7 Jewish people, which are divided into 7 levels of the service of Hashem, shall unite and become one in the menorah, which is the all-encompassing unity. Everything it includes is part of the menorah. They said all one piece of gold of the 7 lamps, including uniting in all serving Hashem from the depth of the soul. So we reaches a level that we're serving from the essence, that the middle branch, the innermost of the menorah, that Hashem's deep desire, which is drawn and shines onto the middle branch of the menorah, causing us to serve Him from our depth and will, the common point of all the different ways of serving Hashem, doing the will of Hashem. So the Rebbe is saying here that every mitzvah has in it that we're doing Hashem's will. So this is the essence, that everything we're doing is just to serve God. So he says that that's the idea of all the different Jews, all the shining towards the middle, because the middle is the essence of Hashem. So the Rebbe says, that this idea that we're doing, that it goes into, everything shines to and lights up to the end part of Hashem, that this Inyan is enriching every Jew into detail. Because that every different Jew, and every Jew, he also has the seven attributes. That there's different ways of serving Hashem. So each one of us has a level of serving Hashem, more with kindness, more with severity, more with different levels. But each level has these attributes. Ner Hashem is the count of the lamp of Hashem is the soul of man. Yeshnam b'pratis, that in each person has these seven lamps. Even though we have to, it says that you have to put, everything has to go to Menorah. It says that everything, all the seven of the attributes, everything you're doing is shining towards the middle. What's that mean? That everything you do for all the different levels, seven levels, that it's emanated and it's permeated with the essence of the soul. So it's not that you're serving, everything is part of coming from the essence. Maybe says the main thing. So what are you doing in serving Hashem? It reaches a level, into such a level, that's Panei Menorah means you face for the word, you shine in, and you reach this general level of how everything is included in the Eibishter. It even says more Mushorish says how it's rooted in the Eibishter. Mushrash is an interesting thing. How there's different levels. Generally say you can be part of the Atzmos, the essence, but it says Mushrash. This is more. So I was trying to figure out what this was. So somebody once explained to me that there's a level where you have roots and you have the ground. So the ground is like the Eibishter, it's like a shell. So you have the ground and you have roots, and there's a level where the roots and the ground come together, where it's not roots and it's not ground. And that's why I think we're bushrush. But anyways, this is what we're doing. We're reaching a level here, talking about that we're reaching a level how we're tied into the essence of our soul, the essence of Eivish. And now this whole Inyan of reaching into the essence and the oneness, it says the special thing Rebbe is saying with Kolel Chabad. The Kolel Ros B'Shem Kolel Chabad. First, let's look at the name. The name is called Kolel Chabad. Chabad, what's Chabad? It's Chachma Bina Vadas, wisdom, understanding, knowledge. So we're on number 3, by the way. Heim HaShorish, the Makordish is the wisdom, the intellect is the source of the 7 attributes. Because if you feel something, if something sounds good and it makes sense, and you want it, your ratzon is, so therefore you run after it. But it goes according to wisdom. If your mind says this isn't good, you don't want it. So there are the different things that the mind controls the attribute. That's how it's supposed to be. So therefore, it's the source. It's also the source of the attributes. So Kolel Chabad means who? Kolel the Chabad and Mamela Gam Kolel. So Kolel Chabad means it includes Chabad. So what's he say? That it's an all-encompassing aspect of Chabad. Hence, the essence of the 7 attributes and the Menorah in general. So it includes everything. So Kolel includes Chabad and everything else. Since everything comes from Chabad, Chachma Bina Vadas. So therefore, if you include that, you include also the attributes of how you act in the world. Va'od be'ika, the Rebbe says, but Boda Kolel Chabad, and we're talking about Kolel Chabad and the service of Kolel Chabad. Tochen of Boda Kolel Chabad, he ha'ezav esiya l'kama v'kami Yisrael nashim v'taf ezer gashmi. What's the main thing of Kolel Chabad? It's helping every Jew, man, woman, and child, physically, give them a physical helping them. Tzedakah, which is simple charity, but but also we want to enlighten them spiritually. Tzedakah's roots, the spiritual tzedakah. So this is what we're doing now. We're spreading out this Torah that we're learning, God's special Torah. It's elevating. Hopefully people learning this are feeling better about themselves and elevating themselves and coming into a higher level because we're teaching the essence of the Torah of God. We're spreading out God's chassidus, God's inner essence. That through learning chassidus, learning what we're teaching, we and helping out people and teaching it to everybody, like the whole concept. I mean, if you like these classes, you should tell people about them. If it helps you out, that's what you do. That's what I do. When I find something good, I give it out, and I keep if it keeps being good, I give it out more and more, and it's wonderful for me. I mean, if I'm upset, I have a lot of hard life. Sometimes I get set from prior things, and I go out and help people. It's like amazing. I just whole light up. So I said, okay. So by spreading Chassidus and Nasa, his Skoptiv, his scholars, the Calvin Israel, through this you become a unity and inclusion of all the Jewish people. Hein but tzedakah gashmis, both physically, tzedakah megoma kasem gufa, the chaver hu makish hu havo, kabali de achava v'shalom. Says when you give money, just help somebody out and do kind deeds to somebody, that they see how you're such a nice person and how you love them, and it helps them out. And it makes them love. It makes them love each other. When you do something for nice, some people they look back at you. Thank you so much. When somebody gets a nice word for me, says something. Let me just see how you're doing. Just a warm welcome. It just makes me feel good. So if somebody helps you, I'm having problems, this and that. Like over here, I take the bus. The buses here are very interesting. I mean, not like in outside Israel. And where I'm going from like Tzfas to Yerushalayim, there's always like a lot of religious people, a lot of kids. It's like it's a couple hour bus ride, just amazing, just to see. You go in like mostly Shabbos, like after the holidays, like 11 o'clock, everybody's catching full of little children. It's an amazing thing. I mean, people are just nice to one another. So I remember like last time I went for last Shabbos, not Shabbos before, and then for Shavuos I went to Yerushalayim. So you put I was one of the first person in that bus putting my suitcase underneath. So I stop off in Yerushalayim, and my suitcase, a small one, is somewhere way in the back. It's a big bus. And so this guy there, a young man, I don't know, maybe 20, 30 or something, he went, he's getting it. He didn't want me to go in. He said, I'll take care of everybody. It's just, people are so nice, and it just made me feel good. And the same thing is, help somebody out. I give people Rebbe water. I help some people out financially, not as much as I should, but I give the water from the Rebbe. I give them an app, Rebbe 770, REBBE 770, where you open it up and you can write brachos that goes into the Rebbe. You see miracles and other things. And it's so much fun, and I'm helping them out, and they just so happy. Like today I'm in Israel, so they have Amazon deliveries. So I had two different guys come. Each one of them I have this special water from the Rebbe, that Lubavitcher Rebbe, that you make more and does all kinds of miracles. So I give that out. This is what we're talking about. What does it mean? Simple options. I'm helping people out. I actually, Thursday I'm coming home, and I'm walking home. I see some guy with like a yichi yamaka, which means a young guy, about 28, I think. I said, "You want some Rebbe water?" Let's see if I have some here. Here it is. A little bottle of this. This cures all kinds of things. I've given out for years. It's the craziest stuff. You make as much as you want. If you look on the app and the Rebbe water, you see it. You have to download the app, REBBE 770. So he was interested, but he said, I'm in a hurry. There's somebody waiting for me in the car, So I tried to talk. I like to talk. I was giving some more information. So I'm walking with him, and the guy in the car is somebody I know from Shul. And he's here, we're talking about Rebbe water. So he says, oh, I drink the Rebbe water. It said both in my soul, and it said me physically and spiritually. And it's something, that said that this is what we have to do. Find out how we can help people out, make them happy, and do a good job. Baruch Hashem. The Rebbe gave us things that's very easy to do. And I've been doing it, and especially here in Tzfas, people are very, very makubal. They're very easy. They're very much into spiritual and wonderful things. And a lot of lives have changed, have helped. And anybody could do this. All you got to do is find out about the stuff and give it out. I also have an app, as I say, Rebbe 770, which these classes are on. It uplift you spiritually. And I also have a few other good things on it. And okay, so let's go further. Okay, anyway, so this is talking about that you help somebody out physically. So ein ba'alka b'tzaka, but also spiritually. So them, I help people out. I give them an app where they write into the Rebbe, see miracles. and I give Torah to uplift them. So Yada Nasa Actus is called Kovat Yisrael. And by doing this, we make unity of the Jews, Im HaKodesh Baruch, with our God. So in other words, by doing these wonderful things, we all become one with Hashem. We're helping each other out, spiritually and spiritually. But over that it says that everything shines towards the middle of the middle, the panemius of the menorah, the inner part of the menorah. So Rebbe says we have errors to add. So Inyan Elbun Panei Menorah Yarmach Shabbos. It says that that it says this was translated as that we may add that the phenomenon but towards the middle branch of menorah show the seven light shine is accomplished by the presidents of the Kolel. What's it mean? The Rebbe's of our generation. The Rebbe's of our generation. So comments to them. I was saying, but you called over a door, and it started from the altar Rebbe, Admar Zachim, Ad L'Chavod Kedush Mori, Admar Nisir Dain, until the previous Lubavitch Rebbe, the Frierdiker Rebbe, Spashar Rebbe, Ki Nasi Okol, because why? Because Nasi is the everything, and the Nasi, the leader of the generation, everything's included in it. It means Nasi Okol, everything is included in it. Like it says, Moshe Yisrael, Yisrael Moshe, that all the Jews are included in Moshe Rabbeinu. And it's the same way that the Moshe Rabbeinu has included all the Jews. So there's one level, a part of Mashiach, and everyone. So it said this, so Nasi Okol, Rose B'nai Israel. Why it says the Nasi is everything? Because he's at the head of the Jewish people. But Dukwas of Rose is similar to a head which includes in it the life force of all the limbs of the body. And from it, the life force spreads to all the limbs of the body. And the conduct of the body is by it. Now, according to your Rosh, everything comes from your brain and your head. And similarly, so this, in the analogy, that we're talking about the head of the Jewish people, that the listening of all the spiritual and physical matters to all the Jewish people generations, an amazing thing, is through the leader of the generation. There's one leader and everything goes through him, that's the Rebbe. I mean, I'm very, very close with the Biala Rebbe, and he's a big tzaddik, and he has Ruach HaKodesh. But he says the Rebbe is much beyond him. In other words, it's like there are different levels. Amazing. I mean, by me, they're just totally beyond me. But they're different levels. Amazing stuff. Anyways, so it says that the listening of all the spiritual and physical matter to all the Jewish people of the generation is through the leader of the generation. That's where it's very important to connect into the Rebbe, to connect into who you are, to listen to your source, your life source, and to get instructions from it. That's what these books is. He's giving us instructions, what he wants us to do, and how we're going to be a better life, and how we're going to bring the Gula Shlema. Furthermore, and mainly, that through him all the people of the generation unite as one entity to a complete gold menorah in an openly revealed way. This is an amazing thing. It says, what's he say here? And that including towards the middle branch of the menorah that the seven lamps shine, and that they become illuminated and permeated with the light of the innermost of the menorah. What's that mean? The deepest desire of Hashem. What's that? What's it mean, the deepest what Hashem wants? Which is drawn forth through and shines in the deepest aspects of the Torah, which is revealed through the Hasidic teachings of our Rebbe's, our leaders, which through it is the union of the innermost, the hidden part of the soul. Through this that we attach in our inner being, or inner being, where the innermost hidden part of Hashem is accomplished. We attach us to the inner essence of God. So through Chassid, that's why it's so important to learn Chassidus, because generally through the Torah you attach yourself to Hashem. But to attach the inner part of Hashem, you have to attach the secrets of the Torah. So everybody right now who's learning this is attaching yourself to the inner part of Hashem. Now we're in number 4. And may it be the will of Hashem, of God, that each and every one of those who attend, there was this big Amal Malka, the big party, big Amal Malka. What happened over here? There was this big Amal Malka, big meal after Shabbos, and so the Rebbe's saying that everybody's going to be going there, but they should do it. May it be the will of Hashem. They're giving a wonderful book that each and every one of those who will attend, and those who will assist Kolel Chabad with their soul, their body, and money, they themselves should be a Kolel Chabad, through their own service, being in a manner of towards the middle branch of the middle branch of the Menorah shall the seven lamps shine. That we should be like that everything is served. What's this mean? And accomplished. We should be this level how we're shining into the essence of our soul, the essence of our God, and accomplished similarly upon one another, including influence upon the other all the Jewish people. That we, not only that we should be this level and shining into this, but we should affect upon everybody. During one of my several private audiences with the Rebbe I used to have in the 70s. And one of the time I asked the Rebbe, my family, I don't come from a religious background, so my family is not religious. So I asked him what I should do. How can I bring them close? He said, set a shining example. So here we're talking about that's the menorah. That you shine out. You have to shine out into the essence. And you shine out to the world like that, and you affect everybody. And moreover, and the many thing, that through the addition in the midst of tzedakah, which hastens the redemption, and especially tzedakah of the land of Israel, we hasten the bringing of the immediate and true complete redemption through Mashiach, which then there will be the true unity of all the Jewish people. The seven lamps, as it says, I will gather more the Jewish people to its gathering. Oh, the Kabbas, I love the Kabbas. They will gather them together. They will gather together, and they will become one entity. That we can become one. We really are, but we'll reveal one entity, a complete gold menorah, hammered out of one piece of gold from its feet until its flower, in one piece hammered out. And simply, Rebbe says that with our young and with our old, our sons and our daughters, we gather from all four ends of the world, from the seven lands, from Assyria and from Egypt, and come to our holy land, to the holy city of Yerushalayim, and to the Beis HaMikdash, the third Beis HaMikdash, which is also trifold. One being that it is Kolel, it includes all the other holy temples, Beis HaMikdash before, also the first and second Beis HaMikdash. And we will see with our own eyes the light. The Rebbe is envisioning this. It's a bracha, but he's like envisioning this. That we will see with our own eyes the lighting of Menorah by Aaron. It says when the Rebbe was 3 years old, he was already envisioning the Gola Shlema. So here the Rebbe says he can vision this. He visions this. It's a vision of this. And he said we should see this. And the lighting of the Menorah by Aaron, and literally immediately in the afternoon of this holy Shabbos, before the third meal Suda Shlishis, which is connected to the third redemption and the third Beis HaMikdash, and most certainly before the fourth meal, the Malva Malka, the meal of David and the King Mashiach, and the fourth foot wheel of the chariot that is connected to redemption, as is counted as the fourth redemption, that the redemption from the four exiles, in which the throne will be complete, a throne having 4 feet, literally immediately. The Rebbe said we should mamash see this a living. So one of the things, few things we're talking about over here, talking about how the menorah lights up by itself. So this is something that we see in this generation. I see by a lot of by many of us, including myself, that when we come back to Hashem, we don't know what happens. We're lit up from above. Like all of a sudden, God reveals Himself. And we're like, this is what we wanted. Our inner essence always just wanted to serve Hashem. That's what happened with the blowing of the great shofar. That's what's happening now. You see just people who never religious before putting on tefillin. People, Israel is beyond belief. I mean, everybody's singing a song about Hashem is always good to me, and it's going to be better and better. The whole everybody. If you go on the beach where there were people not sneers, the whole of Israel, it's like amazing. Like belief in Hashem. Hashem is good and taking care of us. We're in a special time, and hopefully that if you learn, you go to Rebbe 770, and we should learn what I'm teaching is the last year that Rebbe spoke. He says this is the most important thing to learn, and anybody who learns these and understands this will reach a higher level. Will be happier. Will be more positive, and will be able to do more good stuff. Because when I'm happy. And when I get myself in a good mood, I just go out and talk about God like I'm talking with you and do all kinds of wonderful stuff. But if I'm in a bad mood, I don't do much. I mope around. I try not to be in a bad mood, but it happens. But this is why we have to be in a good mood, because we have to attach ourselves. As I said, my mashpi is also Rebbe. One person asked him once, why am I depressed? Well, I'm not happy. He says, because you don't know you're connected to something good. We're very connected, and if you see what's happening in the world's lighting up around us. I see it recently in a paper that's talking about how the people now more going to church, they're getting to more spirituality. The whole world, the conservative, all different people, well, a few generations ago weren't. So we're in a special time. Let's take advantage of it. Let's work with one another, help one another, be good to one another, and learn more about God's will, and learn what it means to be proud and happy that we're God's special servants. Sei gesund, everybody. As always, Yechi Adonenu, Ma'areinu V'einu Melech Mashiach Ved. It was wonderful, wonderful speaking to you guys. Hope everybody's good. Hope you enjoyed it. Be well, everybody. Sei gesund.